continuing Saint Germain's discourse. And I want to be crystal clear that only in knowing that truth and in the practice of that truth shall you be free. And that truth is, I am. For I am is the great key and password into the presence of God, your own God self, and is your own individual expression of the full manifestation of God in action. There have, through the ages, been many races and many languages, each with its own expression for divinity, and I do not wish to comment on the many expressions which sincere seekers may now be using. However, it is the Master's hope, and by masters I mean, of course, ascended masters, that all students of the light come to understand and to use at all times only the expression I am, not only in their meditation, but in every phase of their lives and activities, to bring them as surely and steadily as possible, through our assistance and their own steadfast application, to that sure certain dominion which is awaiting them. I cannot emphasize this enough, dear ones. There is no other expression, phrase, word, practice, or exercise that will raise you into the ascended Master consciousness, which is God consciousness, so certainly and swiftly as the conscious use and understanding of I am. This is the single consciousness that is one, without a second, the consciousness of the ascended Master. This is the single consciousness that all sincere students must attain. Although there are many so-called paths now being taught in our beloved America, there is in the end no real path, dear one, but the straight path. And I am that path. I am is the open door into the very heart of God, the I am presence. And only I am will open the way to our direct ascended Master assistance that is imperative if you are to have our sustained raising activity required for the ultimate step, ascension, which is your eternal clearance from the earth and your entry into the next octave of existence, the divine. It is this same ascension which Jesus attained, and which you, with our assistance, may also attain. And only through the raising activity of I am, the resurrection of your form and moral, is that ascension possible. When Jesus said, I am the way, the truth, and the life, it was to this way, that of the I am, to which he referred. Due to the opposition of forces and the subsequent distortion, the events surrounding his life and ministry, and the very words he spoke, have been subjected to by proponents of the many dogmas which are still prevalent today, there has been very little that has come to light of these teachings which he gave to the few who were ready, regarding the I am, and his own use of I am decrees and affirmations, with which his statements, only some of which are recorded in the biblical records, are filled. Their very vibration, however, is indelibly imprinted in the aura of the planet, so deep was his understanding of their meaning and use, and so fully was he charged with the energy which their continual application brings forth. The power which all who hear the power which all who hear repeated today the I am affirmations that he used can feel. And so too will many of you become so charged and raised that you will do the same works as the Master, Jesus. And as he himself said, greater works than these shall you do. And there are many that have done and are doing now these greater works, though for the most part it is the nature of their work to remain silent and unknown. It is in precisely the same way as my brother Jesus, according to the same eternal law, by the same power of God that I, Saint Germain, accomplished, and am still accomplishing these works, and that you shall also know, he that uses the I am has the kingdom of heaven, the full consciousness of God in action, and the ascended host of light, who are the full manifestation of that consciousness, always close at hand. That way, that kingdom is the I am that I am. Saint Germain am one with that same presence that you are and that Jesus is. Is that not amazing? Why, it should be no more amazing than to say we are one in the Father. It is only another, much more direct way of saying the same thing. You see, my children, there is a tremendous difference between the understanding of oneness and the calling oneness into action. And this great difference is why I am, and wish you to be so adamant, and you know what adamant is, like a diamond, concerning your acceptance and use of the expression, the actual words, I am. For it is only through that conscious expression from your own God self that the one consciousness can be called forth to act for and in you, and raise you into full being in the ascended state. And only through the assistance of the ascended host of light which your use of the expression I am permits us to give, and which assistance is the sustaining power behind all calls of fully sustained effort, does anything ever reach the ascended state. Through your application, though your application may be very great, and we assume that if you are serious it will be, the only way those calls may be permanently sustained is through the addition of our sustaining light substance and activity, that none not ascended, no matter what they may claim, is capable of bringing into manifestation. For we are that light, and by that light alone shall you know us. I am going to give you some instructions now on the use of these affirmations, which expressions of your own divinity will bring about that which you wish through the dominion of your own God self, directed by the faculty, which is a twin faculty, visualization, qualification. You cannot have one without the other. Where there is thought, there is feeling. Where there is feeling, there is thought. Visualize that which your affirmation calls for already taking place. At the same time, qualify that thought by your feelings. In other words, modulate your feeling energy flowing forth from your heart so that in the dual activity of the mind and heart, you focus the energy of your own I am presence on the manifestation which you, by your word, spoken or silent, are calling into being. And by the power of God, and by the divine law by which that power operates, that upon which you have focused your attention shall come into being as surely as day follows night. For it is law, and nothing can change the law. So do not despair when you are making a call, and you do not see the immediate result. The result is there, though you may not yet have sufficient inner vision to see it. For God works from the inside out, that is, all manifestations take place on the inner planes of existence first. Then, as more conscious light substance is added, begins to manifest on the outer, more dense planes. Though, remember, all planes are God planes. God is everywhere, and there is nowhere that God is not. And it is by the very fact of God everywhere that what you conceive in your mind is one part of the universe, can manifest in another part of the universe. For there is only one substance, one consciousness, and that one is the consciousness of your own God self, I am.